Hello everyone, Dr. Kerry here at Doc's Custom Corner. I just wanted to start out tonight by saying thank you to a few people. Back, I don't know, maybe 8 months, 9 months ago, my daughter was talking about starting her own channel about Pokemon cards. And at the same time, my son kind of made the comment about I should start my own channel. Well, after a while of dragging my feet, not doing anything about it, I was kind of telling him, I'll try to think of a name and trying to think of what I wanted to put on there and so on and so forth. He came back and said that I had enough stuff that would be pretty awesome for people to see out online within video or pictures or what have you. But I continued to drag my feet. And not too long ago, I made the comment while I was trying to find a good tripod to use and such to do the videos with and whatever else. And he asked me what kind of tripod I was looking at. So I sent a picture of one that I was kind of looking at the time. And about a week later, I had one show up on my doorstep. So I kind of took the hint at that time to start the channel here. So I'd like to thank my son, Brian, for pushing and prodding and poking and kicking me in the keister and getting me going on it. Also want to thank a good friend of mine who is just south of me here down in the Chicagoland area. He goes by Johnny Roman on his YouTube channel's Toy Car Case. It's Johnny Roman's Supper Club, and he does a lot of stuff with Hot Wheels. And I made the comment up to him about possibly digging out all of my old Hot Wheels and going through them and kind of showing them off a little bit. But had a couple here that I wanted to kind of show. I'm into big rigs as well as cars, hot rods, customs, modified race cars, so on and like. So I have a little Hot Wheels semi. I've also got a bunch of 1/64 scale semis and tractors. I'm into tractors as well, but don't have a whole lot of models on them. But I also just picked this one up. Johnny would be kind of proud of me. He told me not to buy another one because he says if you buy one, the disease starts all over again and you'll be buying them again. Well, I'm gonna try to curb myself and not let that happen. But picked this one up the other day at Walmart. Thought it was pretty cool. Looked like an old demo car. After just putting my demo car video up here the other day, I thought this was kind of fitting to pick it up and get it. So I did. But I also wanted to thank Johnny for helping give me a lot of ideas and kind of the behind the scenes stuff as far as kind of the business end of YouTube and whatever else. He gave me a lot of ideas and tips as far as what to do and how to do my channel and do it the right way as you start up. That way you don't have to backtrack on yourself, and it has helped. So I'd like to send out a big shout out and a big thanks to him, and hopefully one of these days I'm gonna get down to Richmond to get to that flea market that he goes to, but that'll be hopefully coming up soon. And also the other night I'd gotten home and just turned on YouTube just to see what was what. And I was like, what in the world is happening? All of a sudden my subscription went from, I don't know, whatever it was, 42 all the way up to like 80 something. I'm like, what in the world? A lot of people were thanking and saying that Uncle Tom had sent them over and wanted to check out and like the stuff that I was doing and whatever else. So on that note, I don't know if he has a AMC Rambler, 69 Rambler or not. If he does, cool. I'm a AMC nut myself, always have been. A friend of mine actually has one of the 69 Scrambler Rambler, the red, white, and blue cars with a 390 in it. Pretty nice cars. But Ramblers 69. I got his name. This is his Ramblers 69. Yeah, I'd like to say thank you to him. A huge thank you for doing what he did, mentioning me in his video and sending some of his followers over my way and letting them kind of see the hack jobs that I like to do and whatever else. But I'd like to show a few of my 69, well, they're supposed to be 69 Ramblers, but they're not quite 69s, but I'll show them here in a minute. One that you see here in front of you, this thing's got to be at least 20, 25 years old. This was built back in the early 90s at some point. I'm not sure what year exactly, but it was built a while ago. I like Survivors, and that's going to kind of be one of my upcoming playlists, if you will, on here on the channel here. I'd like to start showing some old Survivors, stuff that I picked up at swap meets that were just too cool to pass up and too cool to change them, so they were just left as is. I'm kind of a sucker for cool looking hot rods, cool looking customs done up and from way back in yesteryear and stood the test of time and so on and so forth. I also have a few of my dad's old hot rods and drag cars that he had when he was still around. Maybe some year I can dig those out and I'll show you all them too as well. I've also got a few cars from friends that have passed away. I like to kind of get a piece of them, if you will, from when they were just, still around or after they passed away, just as a remembrance of them, kind of a way of honoring them throughout my collection and whatever else. But this one, like I say, was built back in the early 90s. It's just built as a mild custom. If I remember right, this is the Leighton blower, if I remember right. It's been a while since I messed with them, but it's got the 390 engine in it, or 360, 390, whatever specs out to be as scale wise, I don't know, but wide whites. Filled in the rear wheel wells, just gave it some mild skirts. Interior inside, bucket seats. Gotta be careful with chassis sloppy in this thing. But... and of course you gotta have the nitrous to get it moving. But can't leave nothing just straight custom or straight hot rod. It's always gotta have a little bit of a flair from each one. Some of them are just straight up customs and whatever else, but shave the door handles, dual bullet style mirrors on it. Only thing I wish they would have done back then is actually put separate headlights in it so you can do that. But like I say, back then when this was built, I didn't have the patience to tunnel out the headlights like I would now. I'd actually tunnel them out and put like a pair of 32 Ford buckets behind it with a pair of lenses in it and give it some depth on the headlights. That's one thing I like doing. I like using the 32 Ford or any, like a Model A type bucket, carving out the headlights and sticking those in behind and then putting a lens in from the front. Just gives them a little extra added depth to the headlights. That's that one. I got two more coming. This one was built probably 3 years ago, 4 years ago now. I like open wheel modifieds. I'm kind of a sucker for them, I guess you can say. I used to love going to Rockford Speedway and watching them all the time, and they didn't really have the open wheels like the Welland modifieds and such, but they had some of the older school vintage stuff like this every now and then that race there. I like closed wheel racing too, but I like the old open wheel. Like I say, the Welland modifieds and of today, and then these, the older school ones. But this was built from the same Rambler body that this one is. But it's been, a little bit altered like most of my stuff has been. The roof's been cut back, doors been cut back. You can see the length through the difference in the changes of the body. Hopefully when spring hits, that sump pump will stop going off. But get a little tired of hearing it. It's got an AMC engine in it. Painted the actual AMC turquoise green. Underside will probably show the color. Well, there you can kind of see it a little bit. Wired the disturber up a little bit. The headers I put on here, the headers didn't quite reach the engine, so what I did is I extended them out with a piece of sprue on the inside, and then this is like your heat shrink tubing. I slipped that over top of there and then hit it with a cigarette lighter just to melt them and bring it down, just to make it look like, header wrap or something like that on the headers. But that also covers up the seam where the sprue and the headers actually are. The tires are PPP Performance Products or something like that. I forget the name of the company, but that's their wide modified tires that they sell. They're resin or hard rubber, but they're molded or whatever. The wheels are custom built. The outer hoops are just your really deep outer hoops that you'd find in a model kit. The back side of them, the actual hub, the center hub is actually a wire nut that you'd use to twist electrical connections together. The lug nuts are hexagon rod, just cut to length. The backing plate is just a sheet of plastic with a nylon ring as far as where the black is, for the actual wheel part that bolts to the hub. I got smaller wire nuts on the front, and I got a little bit bigger diameter ones in the rear, just to simulate like a truck rear end would be underneath it. The wheels aren't that hard to do. They take a little time, but they're not really hard to do. I've got like a wheel spacing diagram and stuff that I use to get where you lay your lug nuts at. Maybe that'll be a how-to coming up here one of these days. Chassis is a AMT 57 Chevy. Modifieds back in the day, they used a lot of 57 Chevy chassis. And the modified kits that are out nowadays, the 34 Ford, the 36 Chevy, the open wheel modifieds like this that are out nowadays, the kits have the 57 Chevy chassis already in them, but I had a bunch of 57 chassis laying around, so I just took one of them and cut out all the floor pan and did my own kind of thing. But there you can see the AMC paint. That is actual AMC engine paint too. Kind of lost my AMC that I had and couldn't use it on the real engine, so figured I'd throw it on some of the scale engines I have. So I'm breaking the Nerf bar off the right side now. Slicks aftermarket decals are on it. The number 1 is, I think, off the Michael Waltrip's number 17 car. Buena Park, California AMC logo on it. Don't know if they ever had an AMC dealership there, but we'll pretend they did. Like I said, I just like the open wheel modifieds, just the look of them. I've got quite a few of these built up. 57 Chevy and a 40 Ford, and you'll love my 59 Cadillac. That's one of those cars that some kids found behind the barn and thought, well, hey, we can make a modified out of this. How can we do it? Well, I'll show you that here in the upcoming weeks, months, whatever. Pull that out and show it up a little bit. But that's the modified version of this, the AMC. And now I save the best for last, I guess. This is one of my favorites. A few years ago, a buddy of mine was kind of throwing around challenges to something. Hey, hand him a Mustang Mach 3 and say, hey, do something with it. So a lot of us started customizing these Mach 3 upper body. Cut it back to about here across, and then around the top of the doors and across here. And you just plop it in, and the interior is the Mach 3 as well. But we, after the initial challenge, a couple of us, whatever, we just started kind of just doing them on our own, doing different variations of it. The one that I did for the challenge is a 61 Impala with this upper portion mixed in with it. I call it the Mach Pala. I'll have to dig that out one of these days. Let's bring it up in the cases on top of my bench here. But that'll be shown, I'm sure, here coming up sometime soon. But paint, I think, is a can't even think of it right now. Not a Dutch boy, but whatever you call it, the stuff you get at Advanced Auto Parts. But that's just right out of the rattle can. I'll try to pick it up here, show the interior. Gauges are painted body color and painted the body color down in through the center console just to tie it all together, bring it all together. If I had to do it over again, I'd probably paint the seats a little bit of a different color, contrasting the black and the copper. This has been built probably, I don't know, 10, 12 years ago now. Maybe not even that long. It's got the Mustang Mach 3 and snorkels built into the hood, molded into the hood. Again, the headlights on this are still molded in chrome. The engine's out of the Mustang. This thing would get up and go pretty cool and or good and feel pretty cool driving down the road with the wind blowing through your hair. Got the Halibrands on it, big and littles, and the big white tires in the back. Whoops. Didn't really finish off the backside on the 4-pan or nothing. It's more or less a curbside, but I didn't want to go through the hassle of trying to put all the floor tubbing and everything in it. Not really a take me out and show me off kind of car. I take it to the N&Ls and stuff around here and a few club meetings, whatever else, but that's about it. Underside of the trunk only got 1 or 2 coats of color on it. It's a little bit different color than the rest of the car. Looks good for the underspray, the underbody. But that's my Ramblers. Again, I want to say special thanks to my son Brian, to Johnny Roman down there at the Supper Club in Illinois. I'd try talking like him, but I'd probably start coughing and gagging. But you'd have to go check out his videos and see what he's all about. Also, thank you to Rambler69, and thanks to all of you, the subscribers who have subscribed and sticking with me here for a little while and kind of seeing what I'm all about. And hope to bring a lot more to the table, as I've got a whole lot more. But just want to say thanks to everyone for subscribing, for sticking around. Hope you like what I'm doing. If you have any questions, comments, don't feel afraid to ask. Go ahead and drop a message down in the comment box. Let me know what you're thinking. Let me know what you like or dislike. And got to take it from there. Hopefully we'll be around for quite a long time to come, and I'll keep building stuff to keep showing you all. Thanks for stopping by tonight. Hope you're all having a good one. And spring is coming. It's supposed to be warming up next week, so hopefully here before long, everybody will be getting their real hot rods out and their customs and their toys and start cruising the streets with them. And with that in mind, we'll hopefully see you on the corner. Take care, everyone.